Mordecai, I've come of age now. No, not at all. It wasn't a grudging obedience. It wasn't a compelled obedience. That, okay, because of his stature, I don't know what he will do. He might do this to me. Not something like that. It wasn't an eye service obedience. There are people that will give eye service obedience, not Esther. It wasn't a temporary obedience, as it was before she left home, before she got married. So it is now, even at this time. It wasn't selective obedience. Okay, you can talk, but I'll sit. I'll choose the one I will do. I'll choose the others I will not do. I'm coming to be a person of my own mind. I hear you, but don't think I'm going to carry out everything I select. It wasn't selective obedience. It wasn't deceptive obedience. There are people that deceive in their obedience. Actually, they're looking for something. And they're very careful how they act, how they behave, until they get what they're looking for. And all the obedience they manifest at such a time is deceptive. Is to push the man forward and to think, I'm a good guy, I'm a good boy, I'm a good girl. And then they have what they want. After that, they will abscond. It wasn't a self-centered obedience, only thinking about themselves, my gain, my profit, my allowance, what I'm going to get. And because of that, the obedience. She was grateful and graceful in her obedience. The obedience of Esther was heartfelt and heartwarming. You'll be glad you're a teacher to such a person. You'll be glad you're a mentor to such a person. Her obedience was pleasant and pleasing. Her attitude, her disposition, her courage, her conduct, in her obedience, everything was pleasant and pleasing. Her obedience was thoughtful and thankful. Look at this Mordecai. I can't see any other son of his own with him. Of his daughter, of not having a daughter, I can't see any show of that. The man sells himself out, and the man spends himself without counting the cost, and without being sorrowful. I don't have a son of my own. I don't have a daughter of my own. And because Esther was thoughtful, she was thankful. She said, a man like this, I ought to obey. She had a pure and purifying obedience. You understand? Esther was very fair and beautiful. Esther was good to look at. And the king even saw the beauty of Esther. But she never posed a temptation to Mordecai. Mordecai never saw anything of her that will make her to be praying, oh God, save me from this temptation. Don't let me become a victim to this immoral life because of beautiful Esther. Her obedience did not make her to expose herself to Mordecai. She had a pure and purifying obedience. Look at Esther again. She had a constant and complete obedience. A constant and complete obedience. A person that is never tired of obedience. And she took obedience as a lifetime career. If I don't do any other thing, this is the thing to do. Such people must get to the throne. And as you make your obedience to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Jesus is our King, and you make your obedience like that, heartfelt and heartwarming, pleasant and pleasing, thoughtful and thankful, pure and purifying, constant and complete, he will pull you up to the throne in Jesus' name. Obedience was prompt and proper. Prompt and proper and good enough. Mordecai never asked her to do anything improper. Anything improper. Her obedience was without question. Prompt and proper, prayerful and priceless. Obedience, scriptural and sacrificial. I pray the Lord will give me and give you real obedience in Jesus' name. Or you say, you include yourself. Your father is dead, your mother is dead, your pastor, how you came to the Lord, he's gone. But who is your mentor now? Would you be surprised that not a month goes by, I must read and learn from John Wesley. All his messages are recorded down. And the people that followed him until this week that ended yesterday, I still listen and I still heard and I'm still being trained, mentored by such people. The people that know the Lord. That's what keeps you fresh. That's why you remain constant and committed. God will not separate you from your mentor. Your mentor is still alive.